Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm kind of excited, and I'm actually very, very honored to be here. Manage first impressions. How often do you get to make a first impression? The first impression is once, but the next time you come in to talk about your idea or your concept or your want or your need is the next time that you're making a first impression. It's just this first impression in a slightly different context. So when we have first impressions, I want to talk about just a very simple process that I think is really effective, right? So whenever you meet somebody new, if you're going to try to engage them and enroll them in some activity or some behavior, they have to get to know you. They have to know who you are. If they don't know who you are, they can't move forward. And the second step is they have to like you. If people don't like you, they're not going to do business with you. They're going to resist. Now you might say, yeah, but they work for me. Okay, come on guys. Have you ever had a person work for you that really doesn't like you and really doesn't want to do what you tell them to do or ask them to do? I mean, it's a hard road to hoe. Right? But if they like you, it's a lot different, right? And ultimately, they have to trust you. Know, like, and trust. This is like a magic formula. One of the things we're doing when we get into Johari Window, we'll talk about how do you make know, like, and trust work? How does that happen a little bit more effectively? If they don't know who you are, you can share something about yourself. Right? They'll get to know who you are from a bottom line standpoint. Likeability, in many ways, this is your generousness, right? When you're generous, people have a tendency to like you. It might be things that you share. It might be, in the business world, a lot of times in the sales world, there's I brought you a pad or a pen, or let's go to lunch. There's a generosity associated with that. And ultimately, we have this thing called trust. And we have a formula for trust, a real simple formula. Make and keep commitments. That's how people decide, right? Now, it's a little harder, right? Especially if it's complex, right? You have to be able to understand all the parts, all of the pieces, all the activity to be able to make that commitment in the first place. And then you got to go do all the work and deliver that commitment. But when you do, you earn trust. And when somebody does that for you, they earn trust. It's just like a trust bank account. So we want to be able to make and keep commitments. And typically this starts on the small scale, right? So maybe I'll meet you for a cup of coffee. And when we get together, right, and I talk a little bit, we get to know each other, we spend that 90 seconds or 2 minutes together, and then I decide to buy the cup of coffee, right? So I'm moving right into that likability component, right? And then if we agree to get together again or do something else, if you show up on time, right, those are all parts of keeping those commitments, even those little ones. And guess what? You might be generous and forgive them. But forgive and forget are not the same, right? You'll remember. Thanks, guys.